Alright y'all boys, so we back with a crazy anime fight today. This is a long lost sibling rivalry turned deadly, so we ain't gonna waste no time and we gonna jump straight in. So basically, we got Ghetto and these other curses just chilling plotting on some evil shit, and Choso breaks the game piece out of nowhere, so I'm thinking he just a sore loser getting mad cause he getting cooked. You know, regular lame shit. But he actually says, damn, my fault OG. Let's have a moment of silence for absolutely nobody. We don't rock with those curses. I don't care how human you look, and I'm not trying to stereotype, but most of these curses are genuinely evil, just for fun. So anyway, Choso's brothers got cooked by Yuji, Nobara, and Megumi, but Choso's problem is with Yuji, cause he's the main character, I guess. So we fast forward a little bit, and Choso done sat and let this rage build up. He knew he couldn't pull up on Yuji for his get back, cause Papa Gojo would have scheduled a reunion with his dead brothers. And when Ghetto planned this attack on Gojo, Choso didn't even try to help. He simply waited in the spot for Yuji to pull up. So my dog running through this train hall trying to get to Gojo, and he jumps down these stairs, and damn, these lights bright as fuck. But just like I wasn't expecting a sudden flashbang while watching anime, Yuji wasn't expecting this. Bro sees a curse as he's jumping down, and the dude looks pretty chill, like he doesn't really want to be here. Then his eyes dart and he sees the target. Now this is real anger. My boy went from chill to bloodlusted in half a second. And while Yuji's still a little confused, bro puts his hands together and fires a shot of blood directly at Yuji. And he blocks, but the impact is still crazy enough for him to make this face. And he deflects it up, saving himself from death, and the narrator says the attack is as fast as the speed of sound when it's released. So I'm thinking, oh shit, Yuji finna get cooked off the rip. Then he fires another shot and Yuji dodges it? I'm confused. I ain't hating, I'm just saying, speed of sound just got blocked and dodged twice. The narrator might be a little fraudulent. So Yuji runs away and comes back in with this left hook that turns the screen black and white. So Choso realizes he gotta watch out for them hands. And Yuji looks at his arm and yeah, my dog cannot afford to get hit by that Magic Johnson blood. But Yuji better than me, cause instead of retreating and letting everyone in Shibuya die, he just gets ready to box. But before we can get into that, I have to mention this part. So Choso is like, and then Yuji is like, bro, could you imagine a nigga offing not one, but two of your brothers in the same night, and then he doesn't even remember it? So Choso gets pissed, and now that blood pressure just started rising, and he charges up that blood in his hand for a crazy attack. But Yuji on point, so he rushes him, Choso dodges the kick, and Yuji comes back for the grab, and then he rolls with him to follow up with the smack of that blood. Yuji follows up with a punch, but Choso dodges, and then Yuji gets off of him. Then he loads up this wave of blood to engulf Yuji, and I don't know why he pulled it off of him, but I guess he ain't done yet. Uppercut with the right, drops down to sweep the leg, and Yuji barely dodges the blood infused left, and this would have done some crazy damage if it hit. Choso grabs him before he can retreat and then smacks him in the chest, and then he pulls the blood off him again. I'm not gonna lie, all this leaving the blood and taking it off don't make sense to me. Like if it's already on him, just make it do some type of damage while it's on him instead of pulling it back to, you know what, never mind. So he pulls the blood back and puts his hand together again for his favorite attack, and Yuji realizes bro is about to hit him with this attack faster than the speed of sound, supposedly, so he gets ready to dodge. And this was a big brain play. He jumps because he knows Choso is gonna fire right when he hits the ground. This way he can predict it. So when Yuji hits the floor, he instantly ducks the blood. I know Yuji kind of cheated on that one, but my boy faster than the speed of sound, and you 1 for 3 right now. The only reason the first one hit is because he didn't expect it. Tighten up. So he drags his bloodstream around, and this attack really weak as hell because it's only fast when it first shoots. So Yuji pulls up and he goes in for a right hand, but Choso just looking at him in disgust and says, and these 3 blood balls pop up behind him and deliver some crazy back shots. And this next part was smooth. Choso catches the falling blood, makes a knife, and then stabs that boy Yuji in the foot. Now he gets off this roundhouse, but that doesn't work, so he follows up with the other leg. Yuji falls, and before he can get up, Choso in the back with his hands together like a nun, ready to ask for forgiveness. And the next scene we see is Yuji sliding back in a new hole placed in his side. Now Yuji is one of the most bagless characters we've ever seen, and trust me, we have seen some insanely bagless characters, but one thing he can do is tank some attacks. Yuji realizes Choso ain't nothing to play with, and Mekamaru, that one machine guy, calls him up with some info. So Yuji is dodging these attacks and just like me waiting for the info, but Mekamaru fake smartass don't know a damn thing about this curse technique. Well, nothing of importance, he says, but then he tells Yuji to run to the bathroom because he got a plan. And then Yuji runs off, leading Choso into this trap, and we hear something start breaking in the bathroom, but I'm hella confused, and Choso, confused as well, decides to post up for a moment and peep the play. Unfortunately, Mekamaru comes in with the rage bait of the century. and Choso runs in to mute Mechamaru's mic, and then Yuji pops up to sneak him. Then Choso realizes he may have fucked up, and Yuji hits him with the only attack he has, a punch. And Choso blocks it, crushes Mechamaru's mic for aura, and then gets ready to scrap. But hold on. That blood a little wobbly, and the narrator starts explaining that Choso's technique dissolves in water easier. Now he can't control his blood for the most part, but Choso a real one. He doesn't even know why his blood ain't working, but he just gets ready to fade. But one thing's for sure, if we talking no powers and it's straight hands, legs, and thighs, that boy Yuji in 5. So now we finally here, ladies and gentlemen. They have a good old-fashioned standoff one more time before the final act, and now Yuji rushes in and throws this tray, which ain't do nothing, and then he jumps up to close the distance. And at the same time, he gets off this kick to the body, and the second one is blocked. Choso throws this gut shake though, and my boy Yuji looking like the letter C right now, and he gets pushed back, deflects the follow-up, and now they're having an exchange with nobody hitting. Choso throws the kick, which sits Yuji down, and he goes to attack again, but Yuji flips up, jumps off the ceiling, and Choso grabs his face with some dirt in his hands and throws Yuji down. Now hold up, didn't I just say Yuji in 5? Why this shit look like it might go to game 7? So Yuji flips back up and peep the hands, blocks the right, he gets close, blocks the left, Yuji ducks the right, Choso blocks the right, Yuji weaves the punch, and Choso catches him with this grab and tries to pull him in. But Yuji ain't eat today, so he just bites Choso and grabs him for the headbutt. Now pause for a second and look at the eyes rolling back. And Choso tries to retaliate, but that boy not seeing straight, cause Yuji pops up behind him and gets this nasty kick to the jaw. Shout out Antonio Brown. Now Choso is losing consciousness, but he don't play about his brothers, so he uses this blood that he been storing up since the winter to shoot Yuji through the fabric, and this time that hole clean through the liver, which is a fatal shot. And now Yuji is the one about to pass out, but he says fuck all that shit and has a flashback to secure the dub. Choso covered the hand in blood, and I don't know what round this is, 3 maybe, but they stare each other down one more time, and before Yuji's hand can touch his, Choso goes for the punch. Yuji weaves and tries to get this kick off. Now they both load up some attacks and hit each other's fists, but of course Yuji is stronger, so Choso gets pushed back, and then he tries to shoot some blood, but this was just a distraction, because when Yuji looks at the tooth, Choso plants his fist in his chest and sends him back to the wall. Now Yuji gets up and they collide again, but Choso grabs and throws Yuji into the toilet.
That shit stank, don't it?
Then he uses that knife to go for the kill, but Yuji saves himself and the knife explodes from the water. So Yuji sees his chance to spring up and get this crazy kickoff, sending my boy through like 3 stalls. But Choso not phased. He comes back with the punch and shoots some more blood to cut up Yuji's side and also take out that eye. Fortunately, Yuji dodges the headshot with his split, and when did Choso decide to steal Wolverine's whole flow? Yuji dodges and then blocks the next attack, but Choso uses that blood to blind him again and send this roundhouse. Now Yuji gets back up again, but Choso simply grabs him on his side and then smacks him with the left hand. Yuji grabs him and then flips him, but somehow hits his head first. Then when they get up, Yuji runs around the bathroom with the holes he kicked Choso through and swings himself around, and it looks like Choso blocks, but hold up, yeah my boy, it's a second impact on that kick. Yuji opens up his legs, which is risky cause what if Choso just sends some blood straight to the dick? But Yuji locks his legs, pause, and then dribbles him off the other wall, and now it's Yuji's turn for a big brain play. He made Choso think he couldn't use his left hand since it got hurt to trick him, so he loads up his left while covering the right with his eyes, and that punch did not work, and before we can get an explanation, Choso straight up grabs the shoulder and takes it with him, and then he punches Yuji to the wall, and now it's fight over. Choso lifts the cloak and shows that he blocked it with some blood, so now my boy Yuji sit here on the plate after getting cooked, even with the home field advantage. And before he can kill him, Choso has a vision that makes him miss the final blow, and then we see the facial expressions he makes that got turned into a viral meme. And if you're wondering why, it's because he's seen this flashback, and I don't know if this is a flashback or just a vision, but you know those brothers Yuji killed? Yeah, they're also Yuji's brothers. Also, you know that dude Choso that just fought Yuji? Yeah, that's Yuji's big bro. So like me, Choso is contemplating what he should do next, but I know what I'm gonna do, go work on the next vid. So if you like anime fights, give me suggestions, cause we got more fights coming soon. I hope y'all enjoyed the vid, and if you did, like, comment, subscribe, and all that. I'm out.